Combining together every single LEGO game character roster, we have had a total of 4,011 characters. And hey, with there being tons and tons of LEGO games, let's take a look at the best character from every single LEGO game. Now obviously it is my opinion, but I do hope you're going to resonate with a few of them. And I mean it, we are literally looking at every single LEGO game apart from LEGO Star Wars the original trilogy and LEGO Star Wars the video game, because we've got the complete saga. So, let's cue the music. Actually, pause it. Let's have Sweet Child of Mine. Let's change it up a little bit. So, hello there guys, I'm RuggedEagle and I do tons of LEGO game videos on my channel, so if you do like what you see, please feel free to subscribe and go to drop a like. That would really mean a lot. That's only if you do go to enjoy my content, and thank you everyone for the support. Let's get into it. Our first LEGO game on the list is LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga at number 26. Now this one for me is very easy, and is actually the hardest character to unlock in this game, and that is Force Ghost Yoda. Now let's just start with 1, the character is invincible and cannot die at all, and he looks absolutely amazing for number 2, and number 3, it's Yoda. And thinking of it, it's kinda criminal that LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga didn't allow us to have Force Ghost Yoda as a character. Like, what? Get the holoprojector mode out of it. I know, I'm aware of it, but I want Force Ghost Yoda. And I have to say, that character definitely belongs in a museum. It's time to move on to LEGO Indiana Jones 1. Now, I'm sure we all can agree with this one. The best character in LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures is LEGO Indiana Jones. And I mean, he's just such a fun character to use in and out of the story. And hey, with the new Indiana Jones film releasing, I really hope we get to see LEGO Indie Maker return with all 5 movies in one game with voice lines. Oh, that would be epic. Next up is LEGO Batman 1. Now, funnily enough, LEGO Batman 1 actually has the smallest character roster out of every single LEGO game we have ever seen. I mean, look at it. It's tiny. I swear that were bigger when I was younger. I swear. Yeah, there is literally only 46 characters in LEGO Batman 1, and it is very clear who the best character is. It's obviously Robin. No, but really, the real answer is Mr. Freeze. This character is broken. I mean, I'm not even joking. His freeze gun literally decimates anything in its path. It just turns you into this ice cube. And to top it off, the character also comes equipped with super strength. Yeah, Mr. Freeze is a unit. And I just remember the simple days where I was in Arkham Asylum when I was younger, freezing everyone as Mr. Freeze. Yeah, they were the good days. Until obviously the day where I had to fight Mr. Freeze. Oh, that boss battle is nasty. So next up is actually one of the worst rated LEGO games, and that released a year after LEGO Batman 1, and it's LEGO Indiana Jones 2. Now, I personally didn't find the game that bad, but I know a lot of people don't really like this LEGO game, but I have to say the best character in this one is not actually Indiana Jones, it's the Crystal Skull, or the extraterrestrial. Actually, my bad, it's the the interdimensional being. Now, this character is one of the more unique characters in LEGO Indiana Jones 2 because he's nothing like all the other characters, because he's an interdimensional being and he uses telekinesis to fight, and he's got an absolute wicked design. And this character for me is the most memorable character from LEGO Indiana Jones 2 because he's the most unique. He's nothing like any of the other characters in the roster because he's, you know, an interdimensional being. Now, dropping a year after LEGO Indiana Jones 2 is LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 to 4, and this is actually my most played LEGO game when I was younger. I love this LEGO game. And in total, they are 167 characters. Yes, granted, a lot of the characters are very similar because they all use the same spells and stuff, except from the Milkman. We like the Milkman. So for this one, it really could be any character. It really depends on who you like in the movies, but I'm gonna go for Professor Lupin. Now, this character is really severely underrated in the films, and in the LEGO game, he can transform into a werewolf. Now, some of you may be like, why don't you put Voldemort as the best character? To get Voldemort, you need to get every single gold brick. He's a pain to unlock. So no, he's not the best because barely anyone got him. Though, I do have to say, Tom Riddle is a very strong character because the rate you can send out spells is ridiculous. Like, look at him go. Mate, calm down. Now, the whole reason why I chose Professor Lupin is because he has every single spell like most of the characters in this game, and he can turn into a werewolf. And I really love the design of the werewolf. It's got such a nostalgic feeling to me because we haven't really seen this moulding of the werewolf design in any other LEGO game or in LEGO in general. Now, when I was younger, I absolutely loved LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, but I preferred LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars. And that was the next LEGO game to release after LEGO Harry Potter. Now, for LEGO Star Wars 3, I am really debated between a few characters. I mean, you've got Cad Bane, General Grievous, Starkiller, and out of them three, I'm gonna have to say General Grievous. Now, I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with this one. General Grievous has such an intricate design in these LEGO Star Wars games. He can literally hold 4 lightsabers. Now, that is epic. But I do have to commend TT Games for adding Starkiller into this LEGO game. If you don't know who Starkiller is, he's basically Vader's apprentice from the Force Unleashed games. And man, did I love Force Lightning in this game when I was younger. Force Lightning in this is so fun to use. And actually, thinking about it, in all honesty, this one's kind of a tied one between Starkiller and General Grievous. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be. Oh yeah, the next one's LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, such an underrated LEGO game. Now for me, the best character in LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean is Blackbeard. I mean, mate, he can literally shoot red lightning out of his sword. It is ridiculously overpowered and it just looks awesome. And alongside that, look at the character model. That beard piece is amazing. That modelling is whew. Oh yeah, and not to forget the move where you literally pick them up and boot them into the distance. It's amazing. Now, very similar to LEGO Star Wars 3, and I promise I won't do this again, I have to put Captain Jack Sparrow on this spot too. I mean, come on, it's Captain Jack Sparrow. And you know what, I have to say, this is the best animated character I have seen out of every single LEGO game, because it really does perfectly reflect the acting done by Johnny Depp, who obviously portrayed the character of Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, look at that little LEGO run. That is pitch perfect animation on reflecting the acting done by Johnny Depp to portray Captain Jack Sparrow. And he's an amazing actor. Anyway, it's time to return back to Hogwarts, and thinking about it, 2011 was an amazing year for LEGO games. We got Pirates of the Caribbean, LEGO Star Wars 3, and LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Now, obviously, for LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7, I'm going to have to go with Voldemort for this one. And fun fact, Voldemort in this game is the most expensive character out of every single LEGO game. I mean, no joke, he literally cost 25 million studs. And LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 has a whopping 200 characters. Granted, they are all very similar because they use the same spells and stuff. And then we jump to LEGO Batman 2 releasing a year after, and there's only 50 characters in that game. I mean, look at it, it is tiny. Now, there is no other answer for this one. The best character in LEGO Batman 2 by far is Superman. I mean, if you jump back to 2012, this character was actually groundbreaking for a LEGO game. He could fly around, he had laser eyes, he had freeze breath, he could blow people back, and he had an absolute awesome theme when flying around. John Williams' theme just kicks in as you fly around Gotham City. And I absolutely love the design of Superman in this game with the logo on the back of his cape, and we've never actually seen that return in later LEGO games like DC Supervillains. And we all know that was one of the best experiences when we were younger, flying around Gotham City as Superman with John Williams' theme. Bum bum bum. And hey, it still is as good as you remember. Trust me, get on as Superman and have a waz around Gotham City. Anyway, it's now time to move on to LEGO Lord of the Rings, which is one of my all-time favourite LEGO games. Now, LEGO Lord of the Rings has a total of 74 characters, and I definitely think this is one of the weakest aspects of LEGO Lord of the Rings. And the main reason for this is because a lot of the characters do feel very, very similar. They either use a sword or a bow or an axe. Now, I ain't expecting Gimli to start flying around Middle-earth. I'm not expecting that from the character roster. I am totally fine with all the characters in this game, so I think I'm going to go off the aesthetics of the characters for this one. And I'm going to have to go with either the King of the Dead or the Witch King, but personally, I think I'm going to go with the Witch King. I mean, look at the design of this character. It looks absolutely epic. Now, LEGO Lord of the Rings doesn't really have its uniqueness lying within the characters, it kinda differentiates itself upon other LEGO games with its mithril weapons and items. And hey, we all know the best thing out of their mithril weapons, it's definitely the disco file. Right then, it's time to move from Middle-earth to LEGO City with LEGO City Undercover. Now technically, in LEGO City Undercover there are 305 characters, but they actually all work as disguises for Chase McCain, so collectively they all add up to be one character, if you get where I'm coming from. It's gonna have to be Chase McCain. And dropping the exact same year as LEGO City Undercover was the best-selling LEGO game ever, and I'm sure you've all played it. It's LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Now, LEGO Marvel 1 has 155 characters, and this is the hardest one on the list because the character roster is so solid. Except from damage control and absorbing my mate, you can't absorb nothing. What is the point in you? He's just some bald bloke with a mace, that is literally all he is. So for this one, the best character has to go to Deadpool. I mean, for starters, you cannot defeat this character. Whenever you kill him, he turns into a skeleton and just regenerates back like he does in the films and the comics. And the character even breaks the fourth wall kind of in this LEGO game. He has like a special move where he uses features from LEGO games to defeat his enemies. It's pretty cool. Now yeah, there are tons of other amazing characters in LEGO Marvel 1 such as Stan Lee, Magneto, Professor X and all these favourites from the comics. But I'm going to have to go with Deadpool on this one because we've never seen Deadpool return in other LEGO Marvel games and it's a treat to have. And LEGO Marvel 1, and I'm sure this resonates with a few of you too, actually made me fall in love with Deadpool because this was 2013 and then in 2016 we obviously got the amazing Deadpool movie. Now it's time to move on to where everything is awesome. It's LEGO Movie the video game, and I'm not a massive fan of this LEGO game actually. I played it a lot when I was younger, but I'm not a massive fan of it anymore. But I think for the best character, I'm going to have to go with Lord Business. He's just a LEGO character walking around with super glue, like, what? Now yeah, I am aware it's the Kraggle, the most powerful weapon in LEGO Movie lore. And to be fair, it is pretty overpowered. You can super glue everyone around you. I've never thought I would ever say that in my life, but hey, you can do. And then obviously Lord Business can pull out his long legs with them stupid stations, and all you can do is just kick people, there's no really point in them. I guess he's the coolest character in the game. Now pretty much the LEGO Movie character roster is just a massive crossover. You've got Gandalf in there, Superman in there, Batman, Green Lantern, all these characters. And then you've got Lord Business with super glue. He is the best, come on, it's the Kraggle. And dropping the same year as the LEGO Movie game, it's time to go far over the misty mountains to LEGO The Hobbit. It's actually one of the worst rated LEGO games, this one. And you know what, I don't know why it is rated one of the worst LEGO games. I think it's because it just dropped out of nowhere and they actually didn't finish the trilogy even though they promised to. You only can play the first two Hobbit movies. I think that's the main reason why. And I think for this one, I'm going to have to go with the Goblin King. He's got a really awesome design and he's absolutely massive in the game, and you just feel like you're playing some massive boss whenever you beat him. Now, as an honourable mention, I'm going to put Born on the list. I think that's how you say his name, Born? Is that it? I don't really remember The Hobbit all too vaguely. I'm more into Lord of the Rings. But this character can turn himself into a bear, and the animation for that process is really wicked. You know, it's all about the bare necessities. Actually, imagine a LEGO Jungle Book game. That'd be sweet. Dropping just after LEGO The Hobbit in the same year is LEGO Batman 3 Way Beyond Gotham, as I like to call it, because of them stupid planets. I mean, come on, who likes the planets? But hey, you know what? LEGO Batman 3 actually has one of the best character rosters, I reckon, out of every single LEGO game. It's super solid. Now, there's a lot of wacky characters in this one. You've got the Music Meister, you've got Daffy Duck as the Green Lantern, you've got Atrocitus with an absolute incredible slamming move. But you know what? Out of all these characters, I'm going to have to give it to Batman 1966. And you can really see from the devs a lot of love went into this character because one, you have Adam West voicing the character who originally played Batman from 1966. And I have to say, I love all the references they fitted into this character's movesets referencing the old classic TV show, such as the Bat Bomb. Seriously, when he runs with the Bat Bomb, it is exactly like what he does in the classic TV show. I'll put a comparison up so you can see. And not to forget the fantastic bonus level too. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of good characters in LEGO Batman 3. You've got Daffy Duck as Green Lantern, but Batman 1966 is such a cool character. And I love the way he sneaks around with his cape like what he did in the classic TV show. It's a shame he doesn't have that stupid dance from one of the episodes like what they reference in the LEGO Batman movie. You know what, let's have a classic Batman transition on to the next one. Time to look at Jurassic World. Now, I'm going to spare no expense with this one. There are a few decent characters in the character roster. Mind you, everyone just cares about the dinosaurs, but I do like Mr. DNA, John Hammond, and Jeff Goldblum pretty much. Now, if you're going off the character roster, technically the T-Rex counts as part of the roster, so I'm going to have to give the T-Rex this one. I mean, it's a T-Rex. It's the staple of the Jurassic Park franchise. And actually, I forgot how you can customize your own dinosaur in this LEGO game. It really is an underrated LEGO game. Now we're going from an underrated LEGO game to the most expensive LEGO game. It's LEGO Dimensions. Now, Dimensions is a massive crossover LEGO game. You've got Sonic, Doctor Who and all these, the Gremlins, Mission Impossible, but for me, I think you get the most value for money with Doctor Who. Now, Dimensions is a really hard one because it is really down to personal preference heavily with this game, and you've got Harry Potter and all these franchises, but for me, I'm going to go with Doctor Who. That's my personal one. Please let me know your favourite character from LEGO Dimensions below. Jumping on to the year of 2016 along with LEGO Dimensions was LEGO Avengers, and we have to give it to one of the greatest LEGO game characters of all time, Stan Lee. Now, Stan Lee was such an extraordinary man writing all the comics. He really is amazing, and rest in peace Stan Lee. And he is one of the best characters throughout every single LEGO Marvel game. I didn't give it him in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1 because I do think Deadpool is the staple in that one. But in LEGO Avengers, Stan Lee is at his best. Alright, let me just begin with, the man can shoot pencils from a bow, he also has a Hulk buster, he has an Iron Stan outfit, and the name is just amazing on its own. He can turn into the Hulk, he has super speed and he can swing around the city like Daredevil, and finally he has a shield that is made of Stanbranium. I mean, I'm sorry, but John Wick has nothing on me. I'm out here shooting people with pencils left, right and centre, just destroying everything. Now, Stan Lee in LEGO Avengers may be the greatest LEGO game character of all time. I'm not even joking. Anyway, next up in the same year of 2016 is my least favourite LEGO game. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. But saying that, I love every single LEGO game, and for this one, I'm gonna have to give it to the Inquisitor from the Rebels DLC pack. Now, the one thing I love about this character is how you can glide with the lightsaber, or technically fly with it. Now, say what you want about that, some of you may like it or some of you might not do, but in a LEGO game, it's fine, it's totally fine. And I really love the entire overall design of the Inquisitor in this game, and I wish we got to see the Inquisitor return in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This is the only LEGO game to have an Inquisitor. Anyway, moving on, we have LEGO Worlds, which dropped in the year of 2017 and really is a mixed bag upon the LEGO game community because it's a sandbox LEGO game, and personally I love building and designing stuff, so I rather enjoy LEGO Worlds. But saying that, it is quite a buggy LEGO game. Now, I think for my favourite character from LEGO Worlds, I'm gonna have to go with the Anubis god because I absolutely love Egyptian mythology, and I mean, look at the LEGO character. Look at it. Right, now just to warn you, the next character on our list is probably the most stupid character on our entire list, but he's one of the greatest characters ever. It's the Hot Dog Man from the LEGO Ninjago movie game. Now, what makes this character so exquisite in this game is how everyone else is a ninja using swords and they're really acrobatic, and my man's in a hot dog outfit with a mustard gun and a ketchup gun, and he's taking on every ninja going. Yeah, I weren't even joking. He's literally John Wick in a hot dog outfit. Look at him dashing from left to right with all his moves and sending people up into air. Now, the LEGO Ninjago movie game is probably one of the most forgotten LEGO games, and not many people played it, but the hot dog man is worth it. When you unlock this guy, the game changes. It goes from a 5 to a 10. And just so you appreciate this character, I'm going to let you look at him for 2 seconds. There you go. Anyway, next up is LEGO Marvel 2, dropping in the year of 2017 alongside LEGO Worlds and the LEGO Ninjago game. They really pumped out quite a lot of LEGO games that year. Now, LEGO Marvel 2 has a lot of characters. You've got all these strange characters from the comics alongside all your beloved MCU favourites. And not to forget, TT Games' own created character Carnum, who was actually originally made for LEGO Marvel 2, and that was his first appearance. He's a mix between, obviously, Carnage and Venom. Now, personally for me, because I'm a massive fan of 80s music and all that stuff, my favourite character has to go to Star-Lord.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw?
Now, if you have played LEGO Marvel 2, I'm sure a lot of you pulled out the Walkman and just started blasting Mr. Blue Sky, shooting at everything around you, and he's one of the funnest characters to play. And when I 100%ed this game, I found myself being Star-Lord over and over again, because he's just so much fun walking around with a Walkman, blasting all these different tunes like Come and Get Your Love, Mr. Blue Sky. And seriously, there are a lot of good characters in LEGO Marvel 2. You've got Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, you've got this giant red T-Rex, and you've got Black Knight, who is really awesome, and he can pull out a little guitar and sing you a song. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it Star-Lord on this one, and he's one of the best characters in the MCU too, and I mean, come on, it's Star-Lord, man. Next up, we have LEGO Incredibles, and we have to play the Incredibles theme song for this one. Cue the music. Now, LEGO Incredibles is so much remembered for adding all of these beloved Pixar characters such as Woody from Toy Story, Sully from Monsters Inc., Wall-E, and even then the actual Incredible family are all really done well, especially Mr. Incredible being able to barge cars out the way is just a unit. And out of LEGO Incredibles' really solid character roster and all these Pixar characters such as Ratatouille, but you know what? I think the best character is gonna have to go to Wall-E. Now, we have never actually seen a character like Wall-E done before in a LEGO game. He's such a weird character to put into a LEGO game, but they absolutely nailed the overall look of Wall-E and the aesthetics of the character, and he's super fun to play, and when you play him, he's really fluid. And now this may sound strange, but Wall-E is actually the most violent LEGO game character. Seriously, he turns you into trash. He literally puts you inside of him, compacts you up and spits you back out as a cube of trash. That is pretty brutal. I mean, Wall-E's been through some stuff. He's taking it out on people now. He's a bit brutal, watch out. But in all honesty, I could literally give this entire category to all of the Pixar characters, because the Pixar characters are phenomenal. We really need a LEGO Pixar game. I mean, a LEGO Toy Story one would be the dream. LEGO DC Supervillains is up next, and this seriously is one of the best LEGO games I have ever played. If you have not played DC Supervillains, hey, what you doing? Get playing it. I mean, Mark Hamill, who literally voices the Joker in the Arkham games alongside the animated series, voices Joker in this one too, alongside Kevin Conroy as Batman. And this is one of the best grounded character rosters I have ever seen in a LEGO game. A lot of the characters really do feel unique, and their abilities aren't just copied and pasted between them with different coloured lasers. They are all actually pretty fleshed out. So for this one, I'm gonna give it to Darkseid. And what makes this character so good is just his entire moveset and how fluid he is to play. I mean, his most iconic move is his Omega Beams, and in this LEGO game you can seriously control where the Omega Beams go, and they just look immaculate in the air, just moving around like they do in the films. And I love the move where he grabs an enemy and just starts slamming a rock onto them multiple times. That is pretty brutal. But now it's time to move into the year of 2019, and this was the most recent LEGO game to date until the Skywalker saga, and that was LEGO Movie 2, and this is one of the most hated LEGO games. But I enjoy it. But it definitely is in the bottom half, definitely. Now, the character roster in this game is so disappointing, and the main reason for this is it has some really awesome designs on characters such as Sistarian Batman and all these crazy outfits, but none of the characters have any special abilities at all. And yeah, the characters don't even work as characters, they work as outfits. They don't change any of your movesets, they are just simply cosmetics. And then you've got the creepy Lego friend characters who don't really work in a Lego game. I do think the animation, they did a good job on it. They're super funny to watch. So really, for this Lego game, I'm going to have to go off cosmetics and I'm going to give it to Batman. Because it's Batman. I really can't do a best character for this Lego game because literally, like I mentioned, they're just outfits, they're not characters. But now it's time to move on to the last of our list, and that is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which has a lot of characters, like 420 if you have all the DLCs. Now this one for me is really difficult because I kind of want to put Ahsoka here, but a lot of the DLC characters don't have any voice lines, and Ahsoka is done really well. She's the only character who has dual wielding lightsabers, and she's really fun to use. And then you've got the likes of the Mandalorian with Baby Grogu. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Ahsoka Tano because she's the most unique character in this new Lego Star Wars game. And the main reason for this is because she dual wields lightsabers, they had to build an entirely new moveset for this character, so it really makes her feel unique. But anyway, I do hope you went to enjoy today's video going through all of the Lego games, and it may bring a bit of nostalgia to you. So if you did like what you see, please feel free to subscribe and go to drop a like. And if you want to check out any of my other Lego game videos, please do so. There'll be multiple playlists here, so you can jump into whatever you like. Right then, I hope you go to have a fantastic week, and I'll see you all in a bit. Adios.